Let's do a stop practice. Stop whatever you are doing right now. Take a few breaths. Observe your experience in this moment. Then proceed mindfully into your next moments.
So, hello! Welcome to Sacred Space. We're actually here to give you a little bit of a Christmas special. So first, Merry Christmas everyone!
Merry Christmas! If you still don't know us by now, I'm Krizel.
And I'm Nex.
I'm the guest, Frances.
So, she's free to introduce herself.
Yes.
But for this episode, this Christmas episode, we will look back into our previous episodes and actually pick our top moments, top episodes that we really liked. And we'd like to share it with you on this episode.
So I will have to ask you on this episode.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You have to pick 3 episodes that you like the most. So discussions or episodes that you really enjoyed listening to or maybe played over and over again.
I think sa akin,
Competitive talaga. Top 3 second.
yeah, sa akin is all the episodes that we were introducing the topics. So yung third would be probably yung toxic culture when we were talking about it.
The introduction.
The introduction, because we really unpacked it for ourselves. And then parang may mga aha moments din siya for us when we were discussing it. And then it kind of became more crystal clear dun sa discussion. Mm-hmm. And then the second would be wellness, because it's really it's my topic, it's my favorite topic. Nilaglag ko yata yung failures, ano? It's probably a tie between wellness and failures, because I'm such a fan of you know, looking at failures and experience as learning opportunities. And then of course, yung pinaka-favorite ko talaga is talking about sacred space and why and how it happened, yung kwento mo at kwento ni Krizel at kung paano tayo nagtagpo-tagpo.
That's the welcoming episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
So about sacred space, that's our 0 episode.
Yes.
And I really liked it because it kind of set the tone for what we want to do with this podcast. So that's my top 3, but 4 talaga.
How about you?
Well, looking back when we started to conceptualize what the podcast was going to look like, syempre maraming things that are running in my mind. But above all, siguro, so the top 3 topics would be, and I don't want to rate it in any other way, but the top 3 would be career failures, the intro of Sacred Space when we got to introduce it, and then the Laglagan Nights. I don't want to rate it, but I will tell you why I like those 3. Yung career failures specifically, it's one of the topics that's quite close to my heart, because for 3 years when I first entered the corporate world, my first job was to guide people on their careers. And so when our guest, si Hilda, was the one talking about it, coming from that from that industry still, medyo na-refresh ako, and it kind of parang napa-realize ako na I still like doing yung parang guiding people in their own career, but from a different perspective na. So, career failures is one. The second would be yung introduction of Sacred Space. It's the genesis of the whole series, na parang we kind of worked our way on how we will introduce the podcast. syempre, it began with introducing ourselves, who we are, bakit ba tingin nyo na dapat kaming pakinggan. Pero, syempre, it all parang made sense na we're not experts, we're just like you, and we wanted to share sacred space as your platform also to discuss topics that are not usually discussed in our society. And lastly, si Laglagan Nights, because I really like laughing at my failures. Dati, I take failures seriously. Like, I know na kapag nag-fail ako sa isa, I cannot make bangon anymore. But, no, later on, na-realize ko, nakakatawa lang palang mag-fail lagi. Kasi, more than nakakatawa, it's like, okay, it's not that serious. It helped me to not take myself seriously, but focus on what I really want and not focusing on energies that might, yung negative energies ng failures. But really, it's just funny to take a look back and say, I failed this one, because of this. Parang ganon yung realization.
So, alright. And how about you?
I thought that's the end.
I know dapat wala kang biased opinion kasi ikaw yung direct.
Well, lahat naman favorite. Well, showbiz. Lahat naman favorite ko. Siguro, my top would be the trailer. Hindi siya episode, but it's a trailer. Yeah. It's just a 30-second trailer. I like it because yun na yung naging signal ko na start na, seryoso na pala. Kasi it just started na naisip ko lang. Tapos, eto na siya, nagkaroon na ng fruition. So, for me, yung trailer was a signal na it's getting serious. And then my second would be mental health. Kasi there are less people who talk about mental health and less people who are open to talk about it. So I'm just glad that we were able to bring it here in the sacred space, and I'm sure if I learned, you guys did also learn from that. And then the third is not an episode but a portion of the podcast. It's the stop meditation.
Same.
So yung stop meditation, kasi I know there are like, I have friends who has a story na they really stop when they say stop meditation. So they stop.
Ida-drop ko yun. Ida-drop ko sili.
So it's amazing how you can influence people with your words, with your actions, and for me, it's more than enough na people really listen to you. It's not an affirmation, but an acknowledgement na may naririnig pala sila from us. And yeah, for me, that's it.
Speaking of stop meditation, I just have to share a story. So, one of my professors messaged me on Facebook and said, alam mo, natutuwa ako dyan sa podcast ninyo. When you start, parang, let's do a stop practice, tumitigil daw talaga siya. To the point na nabibitawan niya yung phone niya. Oh my gosh, stop. Stop whatever you are doing right now. So, alam mo yon, yung ganong klaseng kwento, okay, may nai-influence nga talaga tayo. So, it's nice to know that people are hearing us, watching us, magchikahan, ganyan.
Yes.
At naniniwala sa ating stop.
at the very least.
Iba yung voice command ni
Nex. Stop whatever you are doing.
So just drop everything.
Sa mga nagsa-stop, thank you. That's actually more for you than for us. And we really hope that you can continue at least that very, very minimal practice of just being present.
And if you want to reach out, we keep on telling you that if you want to reach out and collaborate with us, give us some topics, give us some comments or feedback or anything. We will not stop asking you that in the few more episodes that we will have, kasi it's our way of communicating and getting to know our listeners, our viewers. So
yeah, by all means, if you want to guest,
let us know.
Yeah, ring us or message us.
And Merry Christmas!
Yes, and again, cheers to that!
Cheers, wala nang laman. Pero
Cheers!
Cheers!
Merry Christmas!
Sabi ni Emily in Paris.
Yun sabi ni Emily in Paris?
Something.
To get updated in our latest episodes, you may follow The Sacred Space by Conscious Heart Creations in Spotify, Google Podcast, and other podcast channels.
Follow Conscious Heart Creations in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We also invite you to be part of our Healing and Empowerment Community Facebook group and send us an email if you want to join our Emergent Theater PH activities.
You can find all the links to our social media accounts and email address on the description box.